Welcome, guys, and I'd like to show you some progress I made on this weapon script. A little bit of refactoring, a little bit of this, but I finally got it shooting a little bit and things, and I changed it up. Got a little tilt in there. I don't know if you can notice, it's very slight, and I changed the recoil a little bit to something a little bit more refined, and now we can actually sit here and shoot cubes. We can actually do something now. And I know you guys have been waiting. Well, some of you have and things, but I'm really not using animations right now. It's more of a procedural thing, but yeah, I mean, it's shooting. I mean, you could always put a bullet hole and things like that, but I just ain't made a bullet hole yet, and mine on my other game is procedurally done. I mean, I actually just make it in the game. Well, not really. I got object pulling, but that's more advanced than what's needed for here. I mean, obviously, we just need something that shoots and does a ray, so I start doing the raycasting and prototyping it a little bit, and I think I got a nice little random thing for this. And, the results. I mean, obviously, I'm sitting here destroying this little cube. Poor little guy. Let's just shoot him off the edge. Yeah! Okay. Enough fun there. Bummer. And I'm decided to do some refactoring on some other stuff, but now you see that I actually have some type of level script here and things, which I think I went over that in the other video, but um, here is what changed. Now you'll see I've changed some variables here, added some, my layer mask, and I just called it lay, spread, range, things like that, because you can play around with them. Now, here's what's changed in here. Now, some of this is prototyping still. Now, I've got some offsets right here. This will be in our weapon object script right here for variables, so we can adjust it at runtime and don't have to mess around with it. I haven't changed much here. It's pretty much the same. This zoom, I'm decided this. I'm just going to be refactoring the zoom pretty soon, so because I didn't like how it performed, and moving the camera just caused more problems. And you'll see that I've got this kickback, and now it requires this variable right here, which is a vector 3. Now I've got it right here in the weapon itself, but this is going to change right here, because right now what I'm doing is feeding it and just going directly. Here it is, this little kick, and I'm just feeding it directly off the vector. So now when you're doing this, and well, dang, now the player is spawned in. Now when you go into the weapon itself, you can go, hey, I want this kind of recoil, or I can do like some crazy stuff like boom, boom, boom. Okay, you can literally add whatever you want on here. Maybe you want a little bit on the X. Oh, or, well, let's just like this or something. It's change the position a lot, like a really lot. So that's why I'm feeding it in directly like that. I might do a quaternion. This is just for a little particle effect that you're seeing. I don't know if you can see it on there, but and it's to do pretty much the visual layer of this, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Because I plan on doing some form of particle for the muzzle flash, or a mesh with material that just goes invisible, but you know, that's another time. Prototyping, got to get stuff working so you can tweak it around and things. Now you'll see this ray fire. This is the function that I'm calling directly from. Here's the firing, and every one of these firing states right here, like firing, burst firing, and so on and so forth. I'll do the kick, and I'll do this. Now the reason why I do it this way, instead of writing it a bunch of different, it's just so that I don't have to write this thousands and thousands of times. Because burst firing and this is pretty much the same thing. A burst fire, hey, you shoot one time. Just, you shoot one time, and then another time, and another time. Because that's basically what you're doing. You're shooting your gun 3 times. That's a burst. So, why not just call the function 3 times? It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's no better than having a full automatic where you're sitting there just cycling every frame. You know, I mean, I don't see any difference. Now, I put this in here. This is probably going to change into its own little thing, but I'm just feeding it directly. Now, when I say this right here is feeding it directly in the script. It only exists. Not like our thing right here. It might end up in here and then just pass it around like we have been. But I put it in the weapon script because this is testing. We don't really care. You know, later on I'll move it around and probably put it in this. But just for this purpose, I'm only dealing with it one time, so I just feed it like this. And you're used to seeing this code right here, everywhere. And the reason why and this is the only part right here where it exists. I mean, yeah, I can feed it this right here, and it wouldn't be a problem, but I wanted to give you guys an example too. And I also do an offset, because not every weapon, you know, is exactly where it's supposed to be. You'll find it out in art a lot, and I already explained this. Now, here's the most important thing. This is a vector 3, and I call it direction. This is like a directional array, and we do it randomly a lot because of the spread. So that way it's not perfectly in the same spot every single time. Because that's it's just annoying for me. Because if you did it the other way, just going camera dot forward, it will be in the center of the screen the entire time, like perfectly. In which it's okay for a sniper, but realistically, if it's an FPS, we need spread. We need some type of randomness, so that way we can miss and other things, and you know, we can just spray like crazy. And that is why I done it this way right here. Now the Z doesn't really matter. I mean, come on. X and Y is only what you want to deal with, and we just do this random dot range. Now, when you guys try to do this random dot range, make sure you have all your namespaces.